I know I've seen some other folks come in. Are there some other legislators, politicians that we haven't been able to introduce yet today? Please just stand up and let us know where you're at, and want to recognize you. Hey, Mr. Wesco. Thank you. Well, we also want to recognize and thank our clergy who is here today. So any pastor or priest, whether you're actively serving right now or retired, would you please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you for being here. And then will the following groups please stand so we can recognize you, and let's hold our applause till all of these organizations are introduced. We have representatives from Retta, Reason Enough to Act, Hannah's House, New Path Counseling, A Haven for Healing, Marriage, Family, and Pro-Life Ministries. We also appreciate Redeemer Radio being here today and their support for life. And we want to recognize Elkhart County Right to Life and Holy Innocents Pro-Life Action Group board members as well. Would you please stand? And let's thank them for being here. And before we introduce this afternoon's keynote speaker, Dave Koontz, who's Executive Director of Elkhart County Right to Life, and Jackie Appleman, St. Joe County Right to Life Executive Director, they have an announcement to share with us today.
It's a privilege to be a part of the leadership of Elkhart County Right to Life and to represent the organization today. There are many of you who have been a part of the pro-life movement in Elkhart County that began in 1973 when 5 committed people founded the organization: Julie Scalise, Ann Quinlan, Karen Gunter, Colleen Laidlaw, and Eileen Donovan. And Eileen Donovan is still active today and serving on the board. Thank you to those who have been a part of the pro-life movement here in Elkhart County over the years. As some of you may know, the organization was struggling and nearly died out in the late 90s. I want to recognize one person who kept that flame burning throughout that time and is still with the organization today. That person is Tony Dibley. And Tony's here today with us. If you could recognize him. That small flame was fanned, and since the early 2000s, the organization has come back to life. Because of your support, Elkhart County Right to Life now has a presence at the Elkhart County 4-H Fair every year. This rally and prayer walk is now in its 9th year. We've hosted pastor events and a monthly life chain, as well as participating in an annual national life chain in October. We've also partnered with organizations like Right to Life of North Central Indiana and St. Joe County Right to Life. Much of the success of these activities have been due to Darlene Lights, who doesn't like to be recognized, but I'm going to do it anyways. She's done a great job over the past several years of keeping things going from an administrative perspective, and if you could help me thank her, I would appreciate it. As great as all this activity has been, the Elkhart County Right to Life Board has realized that there's more that the organization could be doing to expand and take advantage of other opportunities. With this in mind, over the past several months, the Elkhart County Right to Life Board has been talking with St. Joe County Right to Life about the possibility of merging the two organizations. Many of you received a letter a few weeks ago announcing this new relationship, and so this isn't a surprise to you. But for those of you who may not be aware, as of January 1st, Elkhart County Right to Life and St. Joe County Right to Life have merged to become Right to Life of Michiana. The Elkhart County Right to Life Board will become a committee under the umbrella of Right to Life of Michiana and Jackie Appleman's leadership. Tony Dibley will become an official board member of the new organization, as well as continue to be on the committee. We're looking forward to taking advantage of opportunities to expand pro-life activities in Elkhart County with this new relationship. Your support will continue to be an important part of the success of Right to Life of Michiana and the pro-life movement in Elkhart County and St. Joe counties as we work together to protect life in all ways. Now, I'd like to take a minute to introduce and recognize those Elkhart County Right to Life board members that have been so committed over the past several years and will continue on as committee members. So I'd like for them to stand. I know it's dark, so you'll just see the people next to you. But if you could also hold your applause until I read the entire list, I would appreciate it. So if you're here, please stand. Darlene Lights, Jeff and Cindy Robertson, Tony Dibley, Eileen Donovan, Esther Dyer, Tanya Harwood, Leslie Postel, Roger Schmucker, Fred Thompson, Janice Verace, Delaney Powell, and Greg Court. So, thank you for your... To those who stood, and others, like Vicki Khalil and Greg Taylor, I want to thank you for the past 20 years of allowing me to be a part of the team here in Elkhart County. I'm looking forward to what God has in store for Right to Life of Michiana and all of you here and the pro-life movement in Elkhart County. I've seen a successful merger take place in Right to Life of North Central Indiana, and I know that the same thing is going to happen here in this organization. The pro-life movement will be even stronger than what it is today here in St. Joe and Elkhart County. I've appreciated working with St. Joe County Right to Life's Executive Director, Jackie Appleman, through this process. And Jackie's going to come now and give the perspective of this merger from St. Joe County's position.
Thank you, Dave. When a federal judge allowed an unlicensed abortion facility to open in South Bend, we needed help. And we needed sidewalk counselors to reach out to women entering the abortion facility with love and compassion. We needed prayer warriors to stand at the facility and beg God's protection for these innocent children. And Elkhart stood to help. About half of our active sidewalk counselors are from Elkhart. Specifically, Northside Baptist of Elkhart sends counselors and prayer warriors every weekend the facility is open, and lives are saved. Our communities are powerful when we stand together. And unfortunately, we are in a divisive time. The pro-choice movement has become more blatant in their pro-abortion agenda. A federal judge has allowed an unlicensed abortion business to open in Michiana. Local pro-choice advocates are vandalizing our bench ads, hiding valuable resources from our women in Michiana. And pro-assisted suicide and euthanasia forces are working hard to gain a foothold. Both Elkhart County Right to Life and St. Joseph County Right to Life have been making positive strides in fighting this evil, and now we get to do it together. We will continue bringing our life team to Elkhart and Mishawaka and South Bend schools. We will continue to teach the students about fetal development and the dignity of life. We will continue unceasing prayer for an end to abortion through our monthly prayer chains. We will continue to host the prayer walk in Elkhart and the March for Life in South Bend, and host tables at the 4-H community fairs to be a consistent witness to life in our community. The biggest moral issue of our time is abortion and the life issue, and our churches need to stand up. So together we will engage our churches in promoting and supporting life. And together we will increase outreach to abortion vulnerable and post-abortive women through our media campaigns, because we want support and healing for women in our community. Through all of our education, outreach, advocacy, and prayer, we will change hearts and minds together. Together, we are Right to Life Michiana, and we will end abortion in our community. Thank you, and I look forward to meeting and working with all of you.